What up, though? It's your boy Joe De Niro, Infinite TV 360, bringing you power and purpose. As I said, I'm Joe De Niro. I got my man B, aka Blade, in the building. What up, though? I love that shirt, man. That Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? Fight the power. I was in my '90s mode about a
Man,
week
bro,
ago.
this
Listen,
is.
what's that?
I was in my 90s mode yesterday. Listen to
Yeah,
this. Listen to
that's how you
Public
got
Enemy. That is my all-time favorite rap group.
like all time favorite group. You got you. Who in your top
Rap
five
group.
for groups?
P.E. Wu-Tang. Can never go nothing wrong with the Wu. N.W.A. Tribe Called Quest. And my last rap group. I probably go old school to this one. Run DMC.
I love that. So, in order of time, not placement. Run DMC. I gotta go NWA. I gotta go
Yeah.
Outcast.
So that's what I was trying to think of.
I
I just
really,
couldn't catch
I
them.
really,
Yes.
I really, I'm really a big fan of the Slaughterhouse thing. Joe Budden's Crooked
Oh,
Eye,
well, that's y'all. That's
Joel
Detroit.
Ortiz. Nah, that's Slaughterhouse. Come on, don't do that. That's hip hop.
That's like me saying, "Hey, I'm gonna put
But
Lakeside
Joel
in
not. But ain't none of
Roger
them
and
from
Trap
Detroit.
and Zap."
Listen, come on now. No, that's not the same thing because
Really?
Roger and
I thought they
Tropico's from
rep deep.
where? But where they from? It's only one of
He's
them
from
was
Dayton.
from Detroit. Royce the 5'9" was the only one
Dayton.
from Detroit. You got New York, you got the West
Oh,
Coast,
okay.
you got
I
down
always thought they
south.
all rep. Well,
Nah,
Joey
that's
did. Joe,
D12. You thinking of
yeah, Joe
D12
Budden did.
probably. Nah, yeah, of course. That's Joe Budden.
Okay, that could be it though.
Yeah,
But I knew a
only
Slaughterhouse
one
because I
that was
knew Joe
from
Budden was
Detroit.
with them.
Only one from Detroit was Royce the 5'9". I like Slaughterhouse and number
And
5
was
for
he in
real.
D12?
Oh,
Okay.
not in D12. Separate artists. They came out around the same time. It was him and what's that? Obi Trice, D12. Eminem brought
Oh, we
them up,
tried.
kind
Yeah.
of like Nelly did the Saint Lunatics, and they probably D12
Right.
did pretty good. They made some noise, man. Purple Pills. I've been to many places. Nah, but that ain't just Detroit. I'm Detroit. What up, though?
Nothing much. All right, get comfortable.
What's on your mind, bro? You need a beverage?
Oh man, I got mine. I'm sipping on mine. Represent. I don't need to say anything. I
You
just
ever
point
been to
to
a
it.
Lakers game? You ever been to a Lakers game
Of course.
in LA?
Yeah.
Uh,
I've been to a Lakers game when in LA. Now
okay.
this is kind of where I'm dating myself. I
Was
went
it the
one
Forum or the
time
Stable?
when
Stable.
AI was playing against them.
Okay.
Staple. Yep.
It was Staple.
Yep.
Oh.
And where I was sitting, it was the last seat at the very top, and nothing was behind me but the wall and a bird.
I've been in seats like that. One weekend, me and my
Yep.
wife, we went to Charlotte and we sat like that at the Charlotte game right there.
Yep.
But it was a last minute thing too, boy. I thought my head. Matter of fact, I think my head
Yeah.
could have hit the ceiling if I had stooped down. That's how high I was up.
Man, but you know what though, dog? You couldn't tell me nothing. I went in there, I bought my Kobe jersey, which I still got. I felt as though I was on the floor, just being in the building.
That's what's up. Especially the energy seeing your favorite team. Come on, man. And you got to see Kobe play?
And then, obviously on the Jumbotron, you get to see all the different stars. And I saw Magic there. And I about passed out when I saw him, because that's my dude. That is my favorite player of all time. That's my dude, man. You can't tell me nothing wrong about no Magic Johnson. Yes, sir.
Man, shout out to Magic Johnson, man. I hope you check this out. We're going to tag you in this, man. My man B just told me, man.
Yes, sir.
I think if I was to set it up where you met B, I don't know, man. I think I could get a blank check from B. Holla at your boy.
Man, I just say this though, Magic. If you listen to this, please don't get mad at me, and especially don't be upset if you see a grown man cry.
Hey, it is what it is. You should cry with Michael.
That's what I said. That's my dude.
Going in convulsions. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah. I don't know if I got a person that's like that.
You don't got a
dead or alive,
a superstar, or athlete, performer, anybody like that? Nothing like that.
I would like to sit down and talk to like Malcolm, like real talk. I'd like to sit down and talk to Malcolm. I'd like to sit down and talk to Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
I would love to have
despite
Martin on my left and Malcolm to my right.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And let me tell you this though. I would love for them to talk about where we are now. That's what I would love for them to talk about. Not necessarily where we were, especially when they both were alive, I would like to know, what do they think of where we are today as a black community,
They're gonna
as a
feel like
people?
they failed. They're gonna feel like they failed on several reasons that, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? One is like, I feel like
Uh,
after Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were assassinated, I think the agenda began to remove the strong black man from the black family. I think it really went into full effect around that time, you know what I'm saying? Because they saw how powerful these black men were
but that
despite
agenda had already been in effect.
not like that. Not with the mass incarceration. Not as bad, bro. That's when they start pumping drugs into the community even more. They start doing it. Just got worse. It got worse. It got bad. Went from bad to
Well, the
worse.
thing is, the social systems that,
They had more riots.
as
Riots started taking
and I'm
effect
not
after
saying just
that.
black folks in general, not just saying black folks in general, but I'm just saying minorities, period. The social system that was put in place based upon the government, where in order for a family to receive, some form of assistance, the
Right.
father had to be removed
Right.
from the home.
Right.
So again, this has been going way before, even before they
No, no,
were,
no. But see, the system. If you look it
assassinated.
up,
So
listen.
this system,
Look at the government. Wait a minute. The system. They wasn't on assistance like that. They wasn't giving black folks assistance like that. They were not. Look it up. They were not. So what I'm saying is, around the '60s, in the mid '60s to the early '70s, the welfare system kind of took off then. But that was after the assassination of them, the strong black men. Don't nobody want to stand up no more. So now we're gonna do and put the drugs in the hood. We're gonna set up the welfare system for the mothers that need this, because now we put the drugs in the hood, the heroin and everything. So now they're getting locked up. So now these women need us even more. I feel like just the way it went away, because prior to that, the black man was in the house and he was working and he was doing what he had to do, and the mama took care of home. It was stronger then. I promise you. If you look it up, how the welfare system just exploded all of a sudden. And in my opinion, I'm not saying it's a fact. It was after those two leaders were killed, and they let them know, like, okay, if we get rid of it, yeah,
well,
okay, this is what's
there
gonna
were
happen.
still leaders, but on a national level,
If
there
you
was a
said but,
vacuum
everything you said before
of
there were still
leadership.
leaders, after you said but wasn't nothing. You said but. There
No,
were
no, no, no,
leaders,
no,
but
no. Seriously though, there were still. I mean, you got to think about it. You got Jesse Jackson with Operation Push back in those days.
no, you don't.
Rainbow Coalition.
No,
There
no,
were
you don't.
again. There were listen. There were black leaders. I mean, we think about the Black Panther movement.
That
Stokely
was before that.
Carmichael. There were leaders, but just not on the same. No, they weren't. They was afterwards. The Black Panthers came after the assassination
After
of
what?
Dr. King and Malcolm X. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They took off as soon as they were assassinated out in California. And then the movement just crossed over into the rest of the country. But yeah, look that up. So, like I said, on a national level, we lost at that particular time our most, awe inspiring, popular leaders that spoke up for all of us, which was Dr. King and Malcolm X, who had two conflicting ideas about how Black America should be, how we should be treated, and how our interaction should be with white America. But then, towards the end of both of their lives, they actually started having the same mindset when it comes to things that was going on in the country
No doubt.
and things that was going on
But
in the war, in Vietnam.
after
Yeah.
them, you mentioned Jesse Jackson, and then one of them, did none of them had that voice, did none of them had that power, and did none of them want it no more. They didn't want it. That's like they asked Ant to be the face of the NBA. Nah, I want that. Did nobody want it? I still want to be involved, and I still want to,
Yeah.
but I don't want to get to the level where they gonna put a bullet in me. Period.
Well, I mean, that is true. But also, too, at the same time, when you don't have anything, hardly, okay? When you hardly have anything, and then you're given just a little bit of something, that little bit of something sometimes is enough for a lot of people. So all of a sudden now, when instead of you having people marching and protesting like they were just to get something when we didn't have anything, now they
No,
got this
no.
little piece.
So
Oh,
we
I'm
agree.
good now. I got my home in the neighborhoods. I got my home over here. I got a job that I can, I'll finally take care of my family and have some form of income to provide for my
Well, now
children.
we on a different. Now we on a different. We went
But
from the dad not being in the house to, like, I'm a little confused. Like, yeah, I was just saying how they end up out of the house and how it broke down the black family after those two. killed. You kind of lost me.
But at the same time, sacrifices were made because you just said yourself that after they both had been assassinated, that's when the system was put in place by the government that in order for black families to receive some form of assistance, the black father had to be removed.
Right.
Right.
And that's when a lot of other things. That's how you involuntary slavery. It's a lot. That's just me. That's just me. B. How the system they worked the system where we still needed them. They wrote through all the rules. The system, they wrote all the rules and had to give us permission to do this, and we allowed you to do this, and we gave you this, and we did this for you, this, when prior to that, like you said, they was coming together. We were stronger. Black unity was a real thing. It's not as much right now. So
That's true.
if I think if both of them were here right now, they would feel like they failed us, and they would feel horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because they see what it would have been, how strong we would have been if their message had it did, just like you just said, and came together. The black populace would be different here, like 100%. We would have a voice
But you know what, though,
in our
man?
administration. We would have a voice. We would
The way
have a
things
change.
are now, it has become what you're trying to match up to what the Joneses have. I'm trying to get what you got. You trying to get what I got. Both of us trying to get what the next guy's trying to get. And that's what has become of
Oh, you talking about black
not
folk?
all, but some of Black America.
Okay.
Black folks in general. You know, whereas we were coming together as a unison. We were united during that time, like you said earlier. But we have gone astray. Our focus
So
has gone in every
on the same
direction,
page?
but the
Yeah.
right directions on where we're supposed to be.
We on the same
You
page,
know,
and that's
when it was time for, and we, you know, we've all had the same conversation about when it was time for us to vote. A large segment of the black community did not even do it, but wonder why things are happening the way they're happening to them and their family members.
because
And
most
so
of them
forth.
feel like no matter what, and I understand that's not a reason not to vote, but ain't nothing going to change. Ain't nothing going to change, and that's the feeling of it. I vote,
Aha.
but that's
But
the
guess what,
consensus
though?
because I used
Things
to be
have
of that
changed.
mind state. Sometimes it feel like it don't.
Okay. Okay. And I get it. You know, if you feel demarginalized, you know, by the masses, you know, the masses mean them, not necessarily us, then you're going to feel a certain kind of way. But at the same time, you have to do something in order to contribute to make a change for the better.
Okay.
And
So
unfortunately, a lot of folks sat this one out or decided to go to the other side. And guess what? Here we are. We are now facing things that, guess what? Not only we're going to be dealing with for the next 4 to 8 years or more, but now our grandchildren are going to be dealing with this stuff, and their children are going to be dealing with this stuff.
no doubt,
Because based on decisions that have been made today that we had opportunity to change, but we didn't.
I feel like see I think that's where we differ. You're 100% right everything you just said, but I just don't see them changing the system for us. Yes, I see us. We have a better chance of creating.
Well, guess
our own.
what? The system has been, you said yourself that we do not have the abilities to create the system. The system's already
No.
been made, but
We can
we
create
also
our
have a
own.
chance to change those who can update or change the system for the betterment for us, for all of us. And we didn't.
You know how long we've been able to do that? Since the 60s. And they didn't let it happen then.
I mean, we're still dealing with a generation. You also got to remember, we're still dealing with a generation of folks that went through segregation. There are some who, you know, God bless them for living as long as they have.
And they still alive.
They still remember Jim Crow.
And they still, and some of them,
yeah, we just lost not too long ago the last remaining slaves.
So that's why I'm saying,
yeah.
I see us creating I see us waking up. I see black folks waking up. Listen, and you ever heard? Okay, hold on. Let me finish this statement. I see black folks waking up and creating their own system instead of trying to get our oppressors to change their system for us. That's all. Yes, we have to vote. You still gotta. It's like the lottery. I don't play the lottery all the time, but I play sometimes. But you know what? You got to play to win. So I take it like that. But do I really think I'm gonna hit the lottery? No. I look at that Powerball sometime and it be so many 100 million and I'll go spend $10, $20 and get me some tickets. But do I really think I'm gonna hit the Powerball? Just in case. So I feel that. So I'm gonna vote and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But at the same time, we gotta come up with a solution. We know what the problem is, but I see us coming together before they allow us all the way in. That's all. And I want that. You familiar with the Ballot or the Bullet? Send it to you. I want you to listen to it.
Go ahead.
It's Malcolm
Okay.
X. If you read this and change certain vernacular and certain words, and you also change Republican and Democrat, because he got different names in here for them. You change the words to fit now, the whole thing still, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And us as black folks, we still playing in their game. And I'm not saying that we don't need it. And I want anarchy. I want us to rise and do our own thing, bro. I want us to quit depending on people and doing this. And I go back to what I was saying. Once they removed the black man out the house, then they made you dependent. Because prior to that, we talked about the Black Panthers in one of our previous shows. We talked about the power and the strength that the words that Malcolm and Martin had. Brother Malcolm and Brother Martin, they was assassins with their words, and they got in your mind and they got in your heart. We ain't had nobody since them to do that, and so
But
now that
I will
allowed
say this though.
that. Wait a minute, let me, and I'm gonna end on this. That allowed them to.
No, go
Here
ahead.
you go.
Go ahead.
Here you go. Here you go. Come on in. Come on in. That's how I feel.
I hear you and I understand everything you just said. We got to find ways to do things from ourselves, for ourselves, and from within. Build our own infrastructures, whatever that may be. So we are less reliant on what they are willing to give us, and also things that we do need that they will take away from us. We just saw most recently with this big, beautiful bill that was just passed by the House and the Senate, reluctantly, but they still did it because they understood if they didn't, then they were going to lose their jobs based upon you know who. So
I agree
you're
with
going
you
to
on that.
have over between 10 to 16 million people, who are going to lose Medicaid insurance. A lot of them are going to be us. Now, we can build the infrastructure that can support those who need medical care. We can build
That
our own hospitals, have our own doctors. But the problem is when it's time to pay for it, and especially those of lower income, they rely on the Medicare in order for them to be able to pay and offset some of this additional cost. But now that's about to be reduced or gone for at least 10 to 16 million people, because in order to pass this bill that also include giving a huge tax credit to the extreme wealthy, they're going to lose out. So that's how we're going to be affected. So we need more representation to get into the different levels of government. I'm talking about from the townships, the city, the state, up to the national level. So that when it's time for our voices to be heard, we have more representation of us. So that now we got individuals who are speaking for our interests, regardless of whether, we're doing our own thing or not, but at least we got somebody there, because otherwise, if we keep voting in people that we think have our interest in and then they don't, and then all of a sudden they show their true asses when it's time to vote, which a lot of them did, unfortunately, then we're going to be where we are today. We're not about to lose SNAP.
yeah.
We're about to lose that. And that is because now you have children that's going to be hungry, because guess what? That was part of that big, beautiful bill that
See,
unfortunately we didn't have more representation of people to vote for our interests.
see, and I think like the administration looking at it like, even though you're not wrong, I need you to say this, but I need you to listen to me with open mind. Like all of this is aimed at immigrants, and I feel like the administration feel like black families that will be affected is like acceptable loss or collateral damage, because even though we're aiming at this, yeah, it's probably going to be some black folks that's just going to have to eat it off of this, or some older elderly. But the whole thing around his whole thing is like the immigration. That's all. That's all. You're not wrong in anything you said, but I feel like they feel like it's an acceptable loss, honestly, because they're getting their
I
target.
don't necessarily think that they are
I
going
don't think it's black
after
folks.
immigrants on this. I do. I mean, they are. That they are going after immigrants.
Absolutely,
Don't get me
they
wrong
are.
when I say that. They definitely are. And
And they say it in
yeah.
the verbiage
But
of the bill.
what I'm saying is, yeah, oh yeah. But a lot of their targets when it comes to this big reduction, you got to keep in mind when you know who, because I don't want to necessarily say his name. That's like Beetlejuice to me, or Candyman. You say his name too many times, next thing you know, there he is. But when you know who, and the rest of one particular side of Congress decided to put together this bill, they understood what they were doing. They understood that, what, there's not enough of other representations here in the House and the Senate to stop us from doing what we're going to do. So we're going to go after their constituents, which a lot of them are in particular states, which is the blue states. And guess what? So now you're talking about, like I said, Medicaid. You talked about SNAP, rural hospitals. They're about to lose funding. There's going to be potential closures. Guess where a lot of those rural hospitals are located? In minority towns.
I'm not disputing none of that, but I'm just saying it's not like black folks. They're not doing that. They killing like Meek Mill say they killing your account. They killing your money. They don't have to do that to get you up out of here.
But guess what?
They've been
There
doing
are
it. They wait a minute.
poor white,
Wait a minute.
low
Listen.
income people are going to be affected by this as well.
I'm just saying they don't need to do trickery. They just arrest you. They just trump up a charge to get rid of you. But that's the target is minorities. Acceptable collateral damage are the black folks that fit that demographic. Can we agree on that? That the target is not the target ain't black folks. We've been the target. We've been the target. The target is immigration. The south of the border. They want that's what it is. But what also happens to fall in that demographic is a portion of the black community. We agree on that?
It's a portion of the black, brown, and poor white communities. Anyone that is making below a certain amount of money,
I'm gonna say that's a yes.
That's going to fall into this category.
That's a yes. I got a yes.
I mean, bro, because basically, and I've been reading this stuff for a minute. It's a large percentage of people that lower income are going to lose about 6.5% of their incomes because of this so-called bill. Whereas on the flip side of it, 1.5% of the wealthy are going to have their incomes increased. And why? It's because disproportionately the tax rates went up for those who pay less and, who make less. And on the complete opposite end, those who make more are paying less in taxes. Yeah, but in order to pay for all that, which is a part of that 2017 tax, program that he put in place, they had to make all these cuts. And everything I just mentioned was part of those cuts. And guess what? Those cuts directly affect.
Period. We could do this shit. We just need to want to do it bad enough. Serious. You'll do some shit. You're back against the wall.
Yeah.
I don't care how many. I'm gonna stand on the wall, put my back on the wall, and I'm just gonna start swinging. As long as you can't get behind me, get thee behind me, Satan. I'm swinging. I'm going for everything, real hard, real hard. But hey, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. This boy,
but going back to your point though, what you said.
There you go.
Well, I was about to say real quick. Because I ain't done with all this. But I will say this though: do I agree with you when we got to do more and build more for our communities? Of course, I do.
We're gonna put together an action plan.
That's but at the same time, right? But at the same time, we need folks who's fighting for us on the other side as well, because there's only so much we can do because we only have so much resources to do so. But we need folks on the other side for it, and that's where we need more representation. In order to do so, at every level of government, we need more of us. That's all.
I vote for you. Let me be your campaign manager.
I've done too much.
And we can start with the alderman or something like that. And then on your campaign poster, I'll put the chosen one. I take it up with, hey, I'm your campaign manager. I'm gonna put it on you. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna be like this.
I'll be that dude in the background going,
listen,
yeah.
That poster behind you, instead of it being Kobe, it'll be you. And then right there to say the chosen one, right there.
I'm that dude in the background. Them. Yeah.
But hey, I do want to get into sports just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? See Skinny Luca, what you think about that? You think y'all gonna do some noise? We're gonna do some noise. Hit my line, you can reach.
Man, hold on. Let me sip out of my cup one more time.
How you feel about the squad?
Who don't know what I represent? Man, I feel pretty good this year. I like what I'm seeing with Luka. He listened to the criticism. He obviously from the outside, but also probably from within, from LeBron, from JJ. And he decided that, you know what, I'm not going to go back to Europe and do like I always do, which is go over there, eat, drink, play basketball, and then come back thinking I'm going to play myself back into shape. It doesn't work like that in NBA unless you want that high level, you want longevity. So with him, so he did his thing, and I give him all the credit for that. Now, can he keep that same body for the next 82 games when the season starts back up? And then also, more importantly, can the surrounding cast, can they step up their level to match up to his and LeBron's? Because this is the swan song for LeBron with the Lakers. This is it.
Listen, a story just in my me looking at the squad and looking at the team, a backcourt with Austin Reeves and Marcus Smart look real sexy.
Yeah, they're going to mix that up because what they learned is they can't have Luka and Reeves playing. They
That's
can't
what I'm
have them playing
saying.
together like that. That's an open door. That's a swinging door. So I think they're going to give the teams in the West a run. Now, do I think they can beat Oklahoma or Houston for that matter? That's going to be tough. But I think they'll give them a good run.
We're going to see. But the Lakers always give you that hope.
I mean, them teams are loaded.
Every season. But the Lakers look good, bro. I think they look good. I think Houston looks good, but I just worry about the production you're going to get from KD. Is it going to be which KD we going to get? You know what I'm saying?
Man, if there's one thing I don't ever doubt when it comes to KD, it's production. What I question about KD is his health. That's it. That's it. I don't question anything about that man's game. KD is still, at his age, one of the top 5 players in the league.
No doubt. No doubt. I like Dallas.
That's a guaranteed bucket.
I don't think Oklahoma
Dallas
got
is
it.
going to be up there too.
Yeah, I don't think Oklahoma going to have it as smooth. I think you know how Denver had they had their run and they didn't win, right? And they won, right?
Yep.
And then they just dipped down. That's what I think going to happen to Oklahoma City. I think that was their window. You hear them talk about it all the time, how hard it is to win a championship.
Let me tell you why.
Look at the West.
Yeah,
it ain't no cakewalk no more.
They just locked in their top 3 players, all of them 24, 25 years old. All right, so that's their foundation. Then they got everybody's first-round draft picks that they can use to either trade or go ahead and draft replacements for those bench players. So they still have potential to have a longevity.
Yeah, they got potential, but the West is going to be stronger this year. It's going to be stronger than it was last year. It's going to be stronger with your team.
It's a tougher task to get through there. Now, keep in mind, they barely got past the Pacers. If it wasn't for Halliburton getting hurt at the time, hey, who's to say that the Pacers were going to take them in Game 7?
That was Game 7, bro. He was on fire.
But as soon as Halliburton went down, it was Game 7.
Confident.
Yeah. And when he went down, the whole energy from that team went with him. But let's not forget, the Pacers was going back and forth with them cats. So, that's why I'm saying, do I think Oklahoma could be taken? Of course, any team could be taken. But they still have the pieces in place for longevity. Houston, on the other hand, they got a good 2-year run as long as Durant is able to play. When he's gone, they're dropping down. The Lakers, it depends on who they put around Luka after this season when LeBron is going, probably Dallas or the Cleveland.
I can see that. You never know. He might shock us, but I could see that. I could absolutely see the Dallas thing. I can see Dallas. Actually, there are 4 options I can see with LeBron when this season's over. Retirement, Golden State, I knew you
Dallas,
were going to say Golden State. I don't know about Cleveland because he just want to go home.
Last year,
do it again.
Golden State called the Lakers. For a potential trade for LeBron. And the Lakers said, no, we ain't trying to entertain that. But LeBron has always let it be known he wants to play with Curry, and Green is one of his good friends. So why would he go to Golden State if he had a chance, especially as a free agent? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's good friends with AD and Kyrie. So, again, going to Dallas makes sense for him. He got friends there. Going back to Cleveland, that's just home. That's sentimental. I'm going to start my career with Cleveland. I'm going to end it with Cleveland.
Hey, that motherfucker go to team every year. Where you want me? Do his world tour like that. Damn, LeBron James.
But again, LeBron still, where would you put LeBron at his age at 40? Rank him.
Like, as player in the league? Like 1 through 10, top 10 player in the league? Let me really think about this real quick.
Just 1 through 10. Yep. You got to start. Who's the first? Who's the number 1? Is it SGA? Is it Ant-Man?
No particular order. I can't do it in order because on any given day it's different, man. Because I love the Joker's game. I like the big man game.
Mm-hmm. Would you put LeBron at 40 in the top 5 at least?
I think so. You have to. Okay. Based on consistency. I'm taking age out of it. I'm just talking about on straight stats, just straight numbers. I don't care if it was me.
Right.
If it was me putting up those numbers, if you remove the face off of it all day, he's top 5 player all the way across the board, every stat line. Mixing it up, he's a 2-way player. He's a walking bucket. Anything over 18 is a bucket, in my opinion. Assist.
So you got LeBron,
Share the
SGA,
ball.
Giannis, Ant-Man, and the Joker.
You put Ant-Man. I don't think I put. It's nice though. Still got KD and Steph.
And it's nice. But Ant-Man said, Ant-Man did this to KD. It's time for you to go
You
home.
got
Go good
Joel
night.
Embiid.
He sent him home.
Embiid. Then you got Brunson. It's a lot. It's damn. That's why I say I really got to think about what Brunson is a walking bucket.
There's no way I would put Embiid. I would put Embiid in my top 10. Hell no.
No Embiid? Healthy Embiid?
No. Nah, because he can't stay healthy.
That's not a skill thing. That's a workout thing.
But you got to be healthy
thing.
in order to be able to play.
I understand.
That's just like Leonard for the Clippers. If Leonard stayed healthy, Leonard would be a top 5 player year after year.
Yes, I saw something.
Stay healthy.
I saw something where they broke down his numbers, and if he had a play every year that he's been in the league, even with you got, like you said, you got your
Donovan comes
AD,
with it. He comes hard
Steph.
every game. He doesn't take too many games off. No, he doesn't take too many games. He like this dude. He don't take too many games off. In fact, he repping the same number.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be about 12
now.
or 15 that all that. But yes, LeBron, in my opinion, is top 5. And I got a coworker I go back and forth about LeBron and Jordan, but he's not even like a true basketball fan that watch games and sit down and watch games. So he's anti LeBron like all the way. If you took the face off of it and looked at the numbers, purely the numbers,
of course,
there'll never be another thing like never player, never again. It might be something different, like Steph Curry is the greatest shooter I ever saw. Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer I ever saw.
Right.
But the best basketball player I ever saw is LeBron James.
All around. I agree.
Just straight basketball.
I mean, you're right, because you got to think about it. You got to think about this. When Michael was towards the end of his career, people were already trying to pass the torch on who's going to be the next Mike. And remember Harold Miner back in the day? They were trying to give him. Yeah, come on now. But guess what? We already had the next Michael, which was this dude. Kobe was the closest to Mike that we've seen during his playing day. We ain't seen anybody that's close to Mike other than this dude. Now, Ant-Man, he has potential, but for right now, he ain't there yet.
Know who I feel like had it and just kind of fumbled it? Vince Carter.
Who was that? Vince was a good leap dog. He could dunk the shit out of that ball. Excuse me for saying it like that.
Oh, no.
All around game.
Yeah.
Was not like
Look
that.
at it. Yes, it was.
I don't recall Vince being all defensive like Mike was, or even how Kobe was.
Okay. His scoring ability and his defense.
Tell me, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I'm gonna send you some highlights. That's what I'm gonna do. His 3-ball, his defense, his leaping ability, all around game. I just feel like he fumbled it. I feel like he wanted to be liked. I don't feel like he didn't have a Mamba mentality. That's all. If his whole game, we got the ones that went through injury, but like T-Mac, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, Vince Carter didn't have injury. He had him later in his career, but he definitely had the whole package to do it more than Harold Miner.
Right.
And they wasn't comparing him to Jordan. They were just saying, like, Vince Carter was the truth.
You know what really separated Mike tier 1? I like to put Kobe at tier 2, and then even LeBron here. Even though I agree with you about LeBron, but I still put LeBron here as a 3rd tier. Heart. I'm not saying LeBron didn't have heart or doesn't have heart, but you just said the Mamba mentality. Mamba had the same mentality as Mike. Mike wanted to take your heart and crush it and eat it in your face.
If you want to ask me on that, I think Kobe had more heart than Mike. He had the opportunity to learn. I think Kobe took it to the next level. I think Kobe was more aggressive than Mike. I think he was more fuck you than Mike, because Kobe came in an era where there were better players and better competition than what Mike had to face. Michael Jordan was the first of his kind in that era. He was the first one. You had Clyde Drexler, you know what I'm saying? But as far as the acrobatics and the aerial offense and the defense and the tenaciousness and the bulldoggedness, He was the first,
Acrobatic wise, you still had Dr. J before. You still had Dr. J.
but he
But you
was.
had, to your point, this is what I say about that. Michael's the first one that took all of that and put it together.
He played aggressive like a big man. He played aggressive with that heart of a child, Charles Oakley, Xavier McDaniels. That's he. Mike
Right.
was the greatest scorer I ever
Played
saw.
with a shooting guard body. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
played aggressive.
I can
He
see that.
wasn't that big. They made him seem larger than life to us, but you really think about it, like right now, my son is 6'6". Michael Jordan didn't weigh two nothing.
I know I saw a picture of him.
He's an average size little
Yeah.
dude. He's a skinny tall dude. He's a skinny tall nigga. Not now, but back
Man, I'm a
then.
little dude compared to your son.
Right. But he was the first to come out like that. You had guards like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars played the below the rim type basketball, jump shot, layup. Then you got Michael Jordan just coming in. I'm dunk on you, you. I'm gonna push you down on the ground while I dunk on you. I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
steal the ball from you. I'm gonna block
Mm-hmm.
your shot. That was Michael Jordan. So I give him his prop.
Mm-hmm.
But overall basketball
Mm-hmm.
player,
And
I've
talk
never seen.
mess while y'all playing. As Richard Miller that.
I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen anything like LeBron James though, and I've been a basketball fan since 1983.
Right. And you're right about that because again, like I said earlier, Kobe is almost a spinning image of Mike, same blueprint. But there's not been another dude, even while LeBron's been playing, to even today, that can be in comparison to LeBron. Body size, body structure, and can dominate on both sides of the ball.
I think people just like to hate on him, just
I
to
mean,
hate
both
on him.
sides of the
If
court.
but if you truly love basketball and the way the game is played, and if you don't appreciate it, this motherfucker 40. Is he 40 or 41? How old is he?
40. Just turned 40.
He 40, yo. Putting up MVP conversation numbers, all defense, all team, all first team, all second team numbers at 40.
Yep.
And they still shitting on the nigga.
Averaging over 24, 25 points a game.
And they still shit on him.
But you know why though? I mean, people have been shitting on Mike because when he left Cleveland the way he did the first time, then they start
Bruh.
shitting on him when he left Miami to go back to
Right.
Cleveland, won the title in Cleveland, and then he decided, you know what? I've done what I said I was going to do for Cleveland. I'm gonna go out to LA and build my brand to make it even bigger. So then he gets out to LA, and now you got LA fans going, oh man, we don't need this dude. We got Kobe, still in the background, even though Kobe had retired by then. You had Laker fans didn't want this dude. And then when they won the title in 2020, oh, that's a paper championship. That's no big deal. Even though they spent 6 months locked up in Orlando during that whole COVID year trying to win a title.
The
The
fans talk
hell?
shit about it. The fans talk shit about that bubble championship, but the players say that was the hardest championship. It was all an even field. It was like playing pickup ball every
God,
day.
yes.
It was no flight, no jet lag,
Yep.
no nothing. We all got the same amount of sleep. We all got the same opportunities, and that's why you saw some breakout shit.
Yep. Yep.
That bubble, like I've watched it often
Yep.
just to watch it because like you saw Murray from Denver shining. You saw
Memphis,
Dame shining.
Phoenix,
Saw
they started coming up during that time.
Yes, everybody was shining.
Younger
It was
teams were
like
coming up. Yep.
yes, that's when it really started to pop. Like oh
Yep.
shit, 2020. But yeah, it,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
players speak
So
differently
then here
on
you got this black man that
the players speak differently on it, but the fans be like, "Oh, it didn't count. It didn't count." That shit. They said that shit was growing.
of course. But going back to LeBron for a moment, here you got this man that didn't grow up with his father at the time. And just him and his mother, through his pure, being a great basketball player at such an early age. I passed college and told all the naysayers, I am the chosen one. He was one of the first high school basketball players on Sports Illustrated, which back then was a no-no. And the man has excelled year after year. He took Cleveland to the finals his first year as a rookie
And
and
they
just
was a
kept
losing. They
growing
was a
and
losing
getting
team. They
better
had
and better.
previous year.
Yep. And every year, and then when he decides to go to Miami because he felt as though Cleveland couldn't do enough to get him to the next level, for one, Cleveland fell off. And look what happened with Miami. Miami was in what, at least 2 to 3 championships. So the man did what he had to do there. But then he decided, you know what, Pat Riley, you and I are clicking. I guess I found this out just recently. Riley was trying to trade him. So he decided, you know what, I'm going to opt out. I'm going back to Cleveland. And that's what he did. So while he was back in Cleveland, that's why he was there. He established a school, for kids in the Akron area. And only about to won a title for Cleveland.
And by the way,
an adopted kid of the city.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, his story, like I said, if you're just looking at I don't know. People take it personal. He's a great player. He's the greatest. He's the best player I've ever seen.
In the pantheon
all around
of
player.
the Mount Rushmores, who are your top 4 basketball players all time?
Magic Johnson.
That's one. Yep.
I'm gonna go for the obvious. How many is on there? 5? 4?
4.
4.
So you got to narrow it down. You got one, and I agree with you.
LeBron James.
That's 2. I agree.
Shaquille O'Neal. Horrible.
Shaq was good. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to Shaq. That's a legend. But I would take a even bigger legend because in his day and age, he dominated. The late, great Bill Russell. Tell me how the cats that won 13 championships on the same squad as a player and as a player coach in a city that hated him and despised him because of his color. But Bill Russell still was the man.
I'm gonna tell you why I didn't put him on my list, because I was going off the eye test. Right. I was strictly going off the eye test. I've only seen footage, and it was one shot at a time. And if I had to go through my mind's eye, I've seen him probably make 10 baskets with my own eyes because of the clips that I've seen. Never seen him play. I see him more talking. I see him I vision him in the White House. I envision him, you know what I mean? I don't see him on the court. So that's why I didn't put him on my Rushmore. But of course.
Okay. I will say this, though. Head to head against one of the most dominant centers that ever played the game, Mr. Wilt Chamberlain himself. Head to head, Bill Russell beat him. And mind you, again, I'm Laker for life. Wilt Chamberlain, a Laker. Shaq, a Laker. But when you look at head to head during their time, Bill Russell was one of the most dominant centers during his time.
Oh, no, I'm not doubting that. I can't doubt
every
that.
time.
That's why I say I'm just doing it off the eye test.
And that's how we determine who's the greatest between Michael and, again, that's how people determine who's the greatest between Mike and LeBron. It's the amount of titles. Mike got more titles than LeBron. But guess what? Bill Russell got more than them combined.
No.
Combined.
You got 10. You got the same. 6 and 4.
You had one more, actually. You're missing one more player. Because you had Magic, you had Shaq, you had LeBron. You're missing that 4th for the Mount Rushmore.
I am going to put Michael Jordan. I'm going to put Mike. He's the blueprint. Mike's the blueprint.
Of course.
He's the blueprint, He's the reason why where there's
each
so
of them
much
changed the game.
Yeah. But he's the reason why there's so much more competition in the league every year. You know what I'm saying? I got a baller. My son's a baller. AAU, all that. Just had a tournament. 15 years old, 6, still growing, working on his game, putting him in camps. He's a baller. So I know. And he got dreams. He got basketball dreams. He got NBA dreams. You know what I'm saying? And so he work at his game and he do what he got to do. But he's the reason. Michael Jordan
is his favorite player.
He likes KD.
KD?
But he also likes Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie is his guy. But he likes
Kyrie got some of the best handles ever.
Kyrie? No doubt.
God, yes. Kyrie make anybody look stupid.
Listen, we got a lot of content right now, man. We've been on here for about an hour. We done went from the politics to the plight of the black man to the